Okay, lovely. Sorry I didn't get this done yesterday for you, and apologies. No makeup, and crazy hair, probably even massive. But this is essentially some exercises for what we think. I've spoken to Jenny about the various issues with regards to degeneration, the bulging discs, and ultimately the tears. I'm guessing the severity of the tear is fairly small now, given that you're obviously able to be mobile and move, etc. And depending, obviously, without seeing you, it depends obviously on the structure of the kind of the surrounding area as to how much issue that's causing. The number one thing is we want to try and reduce pain and try, if we can, to not irritate or inflame the area. It's probable that at the moment, my little helper here. It's probable at the moment that there is some inflammation there, hence why it's causing you the pain. But what we have suggested and what Jenny has suggested is that it's probably best to work on a little bit of core restructuring alongside some stability work, but ultimately the core is the key thing with you. It's something that I spend a lot of time doing, even with the two children, and ultimately being at the level of fitness I was both prior to and now, it still does cause me issues in my hip area, adductors, etc. So for you, it's really important that we get that core sorted. At the same time, we try and get those that hip stability working. The more we can get the core sorted and the more that we can have more of an upright posture, the more we're going to be able to engage some of those muscles around the posterior chain, so around your glutes, your lower back, your psoas and your hip flexor, which is kind of all in this sort of area here. And the more we can engage those by engaging the core and working on the core, the better you're going to feel and the less pain hopefully you're going to be in. Okay, I'm going to put on this on YouTube so that you can refer to it and I don't have to sort of send it to you on WhatsApp. But the three main exercises that we're going to work on with regards to core, you've probably seen them before, but I'm going to give you a few little directions with them. Okay, so the first one is just your standard dead bug. Okay, which you've probably been given by your physios before, but physios tend to sometimes draft over some of the core elements that you need with this. So the first thing that we want to be thinking about is when we're in this position on the floor and we've got our knees up and our hands up, what I want you to really do is try and push your lower back into the floor, okay? So we can do this and we can go nice and merrily in this position. Now, if I'm doing that, I can actually get my hands under my back, okay? If I then swap to pushing my back, thanks Mila, you can get a child to help you with this. If I push my back into the floor and I then repeat, I have to go a lot slower. Can you just jump off me a minute? I have to go a lot slower and a lot more controlled, and I have to activate a lot more in order to keep that back driven into the floor. If you find that you can only go so far, so like that starts to get quite tricky for me. If you find you can only go so far, then just stop there, okay? So push that back down, push that back into the floor, and up. You can try this and test this with Ant or one of the older children just popping their hand under your lower back. So it's the lower back that needs to be driving down onto that floor, okay? Like I said, if you can't get all the way down, leg horizontal, arm horizontal, don't worry, go into the point at which your back starts to lift up, okay? So you're fighting against pushing that back down, all right? I want you to try and do 3 sets of 10, so 5 on each leg, have a rest, another set of 5 on each leg, have a rest, another set of 5 on each leg, okay? I'm going to give you 3 exercises. With these exercises, I want you to either do them, dead bug, next exercise, minutes rest, 1, 2, 3, minutes rest, 1, 2, 3, minutes rest. Or if you find it easier to do 3 sets of dead bugs, just have 30 seconds, 20 seconds in between each of those exercises. Okay, I can write that down for you. So that's exercise number 1. The second exercise is your hip bridge, okay? So again, it's very easy to just put your heels onto the floor and drive up, okay? So we could just do this movement, up and down, no problem. The way I want you to do this is, again, I want you to tilt your hips. So if I just pull my top up here, so we could just drive up, But what I want you to do is tilt your hips. So what I'm doing here is I'm pushing that lower back down into the ground before I drive up, okay? Same again on the bottom. Hips down, back down, push up. As you go up, I want you squeezing your glutes together, okay? Again, 10 reps of that. Trying to get those hips as high as you can. There is a progression to that, and we can talk about that a little bit later on, okay? So that's your second one, okay? Go out the way. Number 3 is a bit more of a hip stability exercise, okay? So the hip stability, actually no, we'll do the whole of it first. Can you just go and see Daddy a minute? So the third one for your anterior chain is all we're going to do is we're going to push back down into the floor. We're going to bring our legs up, but at the same time we're going to take those shoulders off the floor, okay? So starting position, back down onto the floor, no gap, drive our legs up, drive our shoulders up. That's 1 rep, okay? Hips down, legs up, shoulders up, okay? Now, if you're finding that tricky and you're struggling to get both legs off the floor whilst holding your back down, do alternate legs, okay? So if we're struggling to get both of those feet off while that back's down, all we're going to do is back down, 1 leg up, both shoulders off, okay? Hips down, back down, leg up, shoulders off, okay? So those are your 3 core exercises. As I've said, you can either go dead bug, glute raise, tucked hollow, 1, 2, 3. Try and do 10 reps on each of those. If it's an alternation like the dead bug, 5 on one side, 5 on the other, okay? You want to try and do 3 rounds of 10 reps on each of those 3 exercises, okay? The last one I want you to try, this after you've done the core work, but I want to make sure that this isn't causing you any pain. If any of these click or if there's any sort of achiness, that's fine. If there is a click or a clunky noise and it's painful, let me know. If there is any pain in terms of a sharp pain, again, let me know, okay? So the last one, I'm just going to pop the camera a little bit higher, is a hip stability toe touch. So shoulder width apart, okay? We're going to drive our toe, little toe, big toe and heel into the floor. So we've got an arch in our foot. And all we're going to do is try with a little bit of knee bend to take that opposite leg over to around about 11 o'clock. Okay, 10 on one leg. And as we're doing this, we're trying to drive. You can see I'm not particularly good with this. We're trying to squeeze all of this glute, okay? Same with this leg, toe, little toe, big toe, and heel on the floor. Squeezing, grabbing the floor like a claw, and then we're just trying to touch, keeping that leg off the floor at all times. We're trying to touch round to 1 o'clock 10 times, okay? If you find that tricky, if you're losing your balance, just as you come back, just get that foot on the toe, big toe on the floor for some stability, okay? But try to do it controlled and slowly. That way you'll activate all the areas that you want to, and you'll also find that you should get a little bit of burn in those glutes. Now this one, it's cool, really important that we get your core sorted first. With regards to your glutes, I just want to see how stable they are, okay, and how they're working. That shouldn't cause you any pain or discomfort to the disc, etc. But it will give us an indication as to how well they are stabilizing, okay? Good luck, have fun, and as I say, feedback to me and let me know if there's any issues. All right, chick, take care, love you.